Yeah. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I think the start of the workshop was a little bit disencouraging for someone like me. Maybe it was like, or people who are employed and do not really have the intention of
Business.
this position, and it looked like, oh, I'm here in the wrong place, you know. So I don't know. Either I would suggest to make it more clear. This is just one focus, but it's also for people who do not want to run a business or create something in this direction, because in the end it turned out to be completely suitable for all of us, I think. Yeah, this is my comment.
Okay, so the start day.
Yeah, I just think it looked like, well, I'm here on the wrong place, because this is not what I intend to do.
Yep. Yeah, because you know that for the start day we try to run very fast to prepare these interviews, and what we had is just from business sector, except with only one student and Professor Sabina. And this is why you get the feeling that it's towards the business. But maybe I don't sure 100% if we will be able to fix this during the next workshop, but at least we will highlight it. But hopefully for the 22 workshop, we will have other interviews that is oriented towards the core, this to design multidisciplinary courses. So just to make it clear for others. So I take this note, yes.
Yes,
Thanks,
I think it was very nice interviews and nice to listen to, but at the same time, I just felt, well, if am I here in the right place? I do not intend to create a business for myself. In the nearest future, maybe maybe a little bit later, but
so you suggest to highlight this at the beginning, like, you know, this is our target, but we have such type of interviews at the beginning, just to make it clear for everyone. Yep. Yes. Andrew,
oh.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Maybe I can suggest so this was the pilot. So maybe in the next one, when we talk about developing courses, maybe we can, some of us that participated in this one can just give short introduction to what was done in the previous one, so people know what to expect. I don't know, something like just do a little bit of continuation at each course from the last one. So if we repeat it to get something from this one and say, okay, we did this run once and we had this result. So we expect now that at this workshop we can replicate them or improve on them. I don't know, something like this.
Okay, so you suggest that someone of you can give like 5-minute introduction or so.
Yeah, something
okay.
like that.
I think this is also a good idea, because this means that we will link the two workshops somehow, and to tell them that for the next run that it will be much improved than this one. Yep. Okay. 5-minute introduction. Yeah. Vincent, you had something?
Yeah, so actually I was gonna kind of agree with what Asami just said, in that I think the integrating business and research are a nice idea of, you know, showing how things can bridge, but it's really important to put that into context, you know, kind of I'm in the same scenario that, you know, I don't have any immediate plans to start a business, but that doesn't mean what we saw was irrelevant in any way. It's just putting it in context of this is a way to link what would be at face value to completely separate enterprises. The comment I had though was I liked the idea of, you know, going away, designing a course and discussing it, or, you know, building on some idea we've had. It would have been nice at some point in day 2 before going away to do that, to kind of discuss some of the parameters, and maybe, you know, with more iterations of this course, you'll have examples to draw from, you know, say ours or the next class or what have you. But, you know, you touched on this, but maybe kind of discussing different ideas, you know, a bit more, or maybe even doing that in day 1, just to sort of like, this is the sort of remit that you have, you know, are you designing a standalone course in the way that Angel discussed, where you could have any person potentially have a relevant thing, or something more along the lines of, you know, say what Antonio and Asami did, or then something more like what Sigva or I did, that's really a little more targeted at a specific group of people, but then draws from various domains, right? So you did that to a degree, and I think that was great. I would just have liked to have seen a bit more background and explanation of that, you know, for the course.
Yep. Okay, I got this point. So in the second day, before everyone starts to run his or her project, we need some sort of guidelines or something to highlight them, how they can do something like this.
Yeah, and again, it's not that you didn't. You definitely did have a good section on that. I think I just would give a bit more focus to it.
Yeah, give more
maybe even
time
a bit
for
more
it.
time if that's appropriate, just to, you know, give
Because
people
I think I covered it only in 10 minutes, this triangular, this alignment of the course. And I agree with you, 10 minutes is not enough to for such thing, to start this 2 weeks discussion or 2 weeks preparing for the course. Yes, I completely agree. Yep.
Otherwise, really nice.
Yep, great.
Yeah, my turn.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. For me, it was good that it was a bit outside of the box, that it was something different. But I also, like Asami, I was thinking, what am I doing here? Is this the right course for me? So I think the beginning, like both Vincent and Asami touched on, I agree on that. The other thing is that it might be only me, but I find it hard listening to interviews for a long time, digitally, synchronous. So ideally, I would have liked them shorter and with either some context before or some discussion afterwards. So that they had been more interactive for us, because sometimes I just feel my attention span is finding it hard to follow the interviews for so long. Although the interviews were good themselves, it's that's the way I react when.
Actually, this was one of my comments to myself after I heard the first day. I said, okay, just to have 4 interviews, just without any breaks, without any discussion in between, this is not the proper way. So I completely agree with you. I don't know if, interview and then some discussion.
You could have some very small specific things after the interview. She made a few points, just to sum up some that I took from it. These and these, maybe the three main ones that either could be some kind of a discussion or just some kind of summary, because it's hard to
just focus.
Yeah.
I got
to
the
get
point.
The essence.
Yeah, I got the point. And I completely agree. You know, 45 minutes interview is a bit too long. But the point that we have sort of certain type of questions, and this is normally takes this time. For example, if you see the interview with the master students, it's only 25 minutes. but with some other people, it's sort of 45 or 50 minutes. So I agree. We need to make a bit shorter and follow up with the discussion.
You could have split it actually, also to make a kind of something in between the interview. Although you have the full interview in 45, you could have split it for yourself. You could stop it and then take some of the points and then continue. That could also be a way to keep our attention span.
Yep, split interview, yes. I think this will solve the problem. And you know, the idea behind to make this interview, it will be difficult to get this business people again for the December workshop, for example. So this is why we made this interview in order to keep the material to be used later. But split it into 2 parts or 3 parts, for example, each one is covering a topic, will be much better. Yep. Yes.
But you might also cut it down. So it's, you know, you can always work with the videos. So you do not have to take the full length, I think.
Yes. Just focus on something.
Yeah, I think it's really better to have a little bit more focused video, maybe half of the length of the very long ones. 20 minutes would be nice. And then have some discussion around it. And yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. And as I said, I discovered this after the first day, because I myself start, okay, this is too long for one day to have this 4 or 5 interviews. So yeah, I should do that during the next week workshop.
Nowadays, it's no reason just to show the whole interview. I think you can really pick the highlights.
Yeah, the highlight points for each one. Yep. Anton, you have something? You are muted. Yeah.
Yeah, well, my mate said everything. So that's it. Maybe if I wanted to focus on somewhat, what is the interviews in digital interviews would be better to be more specific, or in that ideas of terms of skills or competences that more related more. Maybe the idea of creating a business, where I'm aware creating a business, but I put in the shoes of my mates, is that not, your idea is not creating a business. You can't be lost to some extent, because you talk about competences and creations. So that's my point. Apart from that, well, very nice, because also because we are very little people, we can interact together. So
exactly.
It's good. So interaction, I like to also interact with, I don't know, some have this provide some tools in order to communicate each other, to talk about some issue that before some exercises or something like that. So the idea for interaction, I like too much the interacting with people and sharing things and ideas. So it's quite interesting. For the rest, is my maths. Some things maybe something that to improve would be the interviews for the first day.
Okay.
That sometimes, because before I started in the workshop, I show these interviews. So when you click on, so I just seen them. So, but something is very difficult. I think you can't modify because it's not on live stream. So that's the idea. For the very nice workshop.
Super. Thank you very much. So all of you that agree that first day has some problems, and we need to improve it somehow, like to show this interviews early, or to split it somehow, or to summarize it and make it a discussion in between. So yeah, I need to find a way to make it. I think you are speaking still, Anton, but you speaking or?
Well, no.
Okay.
I'm not, what's your point?
No, I because I think there is a problem with the sound and the streaming of the video itself. So I saw that you are speaking, but you are muted. Yes. Yep. Yeah. So this is all. So do you have any comment, other comments or so? Do you think one of you can like precipitate for 5 minutes, make a short short video for 5 minutes just to introduce this workshop to the other group for next week? If any of you can make that for us for the next workshop.
When is it?
Oh, this is a good question. I think it will be 2nd or 3rd of December. I can check just a second. Should be, yes. It's it will be the 2nd and 3rd of December. But it can be a record. So if 2nd and 3rd of December is not suitable for you, to one of you just to have this 5-minute record to reflect on what we did during this workshop, it can be just a record by Zoom or so.
I can participate live. And I can
yeah, if you like, it will be great.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
When was the date? Sorry.
2nd of December.
Yeah, no problem. We'll be together, so.
Okay. Yep.
I can also.
Yeah, that's correct, because Angel actually will be here in Tromsø, 2nd of December. Yeah. Yeah. Great. So I will try to fix the first day, because I still see that there is a problem here. But in general, you find this workshop sort of important or interesting for you, right?
I mean, I can't speak for anyone else. I found it very interesting. You know, it gives you a lot of perspectives you wouldn't otherwise see. You know, so.
Yep.
I think, you know, taking on board what we said about putting it into context, you know, speaking for, you know, Sigba and Asame again, I think that would be really useful, but with that in mind, I think it's nice to sometimes get outside your own box of, you know, how things can fit together in academia or otherwise. So
yep.
I was really interested in the first part with the interviews, because I'm interested in the whole startup thing and starting a company. Maybe not in the moment, but also as part of my work here in the universities, I see our Ministry of Education, which is our funding organization, is constantly trying to push us to include more entrepreneurship in the educational process, more things related to starting up a business. So this translates well to me, because in engineering, this is one of the way you can realize yourself, create a product, and go on the market and have a business.
Yeah.
So the first part was,
I think there is a rule or something that allow academic people to use some of their time to start up, to make companies or so. I read something like this.
Sorry, can you repeat?
I read something that there is some rules that you can use some of your time, or university should support academic people in order to establish their companies, and they can use some of their time to this companies.
In Bulgarian, it's not directly said, but when we are employed at the university, we are generally have to be, we're employed full time for 8 days a week, but we are obliged to be only 6 hours of these 8 hours. So the other 2 hours are left for
other activities.
Yes.
Okay, yep. Yep, super. So I think the next step, okay, thanks, Sigir. So, and I will be contact with Asami and Anton in order to see how we can make your course in this Cloud Earth Eye, and also for Sigiev and Vincent, if you think that your course would like to run it like a pilot phase, and you would like to host it at the Cloud Earth Eye, we can do it for you. So if you like to do so. Because I think Sigiev, you will run your course like a pilot just to check if it will be online or physical or so on. So
yes, and yeah. I have to do that first, and I can't run it this year because my boss told me to do something else this year, and she said this would be something for next year.
Okay. Yeah. But please, if you think that Cloud Earth can help at anything in these courses or other courses, if for example you get another idea not related to what we did today, like workshop to increase the competence of the academic somehow, just contact me, and then we can explore how we can make this idea like a reality.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you.
Yep.
I just have a question about this practical thing. When you're arranging a course in the cloud, should that be something with kind of some hours for a week and then over a longer period of time, or should this be like more compact over some days?
No, actually, this is up to you, up to the structure of the course. So I think for a student now we are run a course for a sort of 6 or 7 weeks, which is sort of regular course. You can make it compact, you can make it for 1 semester, you can make it 2 semester. So it's up to you and up to the structure of the course. You can make it only for one group of people. Like, for example, I will give this course only for Tromsø University. In this case, we will use our contact in order to announce the course only for Tromsø, or you would like to make it in Tromsø and Alicante University. So in this case, we will use the contact just to announce the course in these 2 universities. Or I would like to make it in all the 5 universities. So it's up to you. So we are flexible in this thing. So
I think how the design is of this course from Antonio and me, I think it would be much more effective when it is in some days together. I don't know, Antonio, what you think, but I think energetic wise, it's more effective when it's within a few days. I don't know.
Like condensed workshop or condensed course.
What do you think, Antonio?
Well, we can discuss it because this is something. So can we talk, stay together and talk together, because it's a question of the deadlines in order to do in the first semester, to do in the second semester, what I understood. So you prefer to do in a very short period of time or in a long term or medium long term. So so we can discuss together in terms of data and something by email or something like that, and we do it the syllabus or the content of the course or something like that.
Yep. And once you decide about the content, the time frame and everything, you just let me know, and then we start to announce it and make everything in order.
Okay.
Yep, great, super. So thank you very much for your time. It was, I think, a great pleasure to meet you. I see Sam is a wizard. The sun is behind you.
There's no sun.
No sun, okay. So it was really great to meet all of you. And I am sure that I do hope that we still keep in contact. So from time to time, just exchange some emails or so. And also I will exchange with you some emails in the future about the activity for the Cloud RSI, like courses, like things that we are doing. So maybe you find something interesting to come and attend.
Yes.
Yep. So,
Great.
so bye-bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye bye.